Last year for Mother's Day, I was struggling to come up with ideas to get my mom, so I got on Pinterest and I was scrolling when I came across the idea of pipe cleaner flowers. I only had limited time before I had to give her gift, so I immediately got the supplies. When they came in, it only took a couple of hours and I was able to give them to her in time. She loved them, so I thought I could share this idea. It only requires a few simple steps. You just have to gather your supplies, make the petals, assemble it, and that's it. So to begin this process, you'll first need to gather your supplies. You'll need pipe cleaners, color of choice. I'm using white ones. These floral stems, green ribbon or tape, string beads to represent the pollen, and a hot glue gun and glue sticks, and scissors. Once you have everything you need to make the flowers, you'll first need to begin by making the petals. So you do this by taking a large pipe cleaner and fold it in half. You will just then cut it in half. I've already done this. I have my 3 smaller ones. The next step, you will take your smaller pipe cleaner and fold that into half. You should make this V shape. You'll need to do this 3 times. When you have your 3 V's, you'll take your larger pipe cleaner and place the 3 V's onto that pipe cleaner. You need to place this about 3 inches down from it. You're going to take the 2 ends of this pipe cleaner and bring them up, and then pinch the base right here of the pipe cleaner. You're going to pinch it and then twist. I usually twist it about 2 times. And then bring the 2 outside pieces up to the middle like the rest of them. You're going to want to then separate the pipe cleaners so they're not on top of each other, like this. Once you get this shape, you're going to want to bring all of the pipe cleaners to the center and then pinch them at the top, like this. With the longer pipe cleaner, you're going to wrap it around the ends of the pipe cleaners. And it should end up like this. I like to add a bend in mine to make more of a petal shape. And it should end up like this. You're going to repeat that process 5 more times so you end up with 6 petals. Once you do that, you're going to hot glue the petals together. I've already done this step for time purposes, but you're going to want to glue them into clusters of 3, like so. You're going to end up with 2 of these. Your next step, once you have your clusters, you're going to take your pollen and grab them in a bunch like this, and then just add a dab of hot glue to the end. You're going to wait for it to dry. You don't want to touch it when it's still too hot. You're going to burn yourself. I usually wait till it turns a bit more foggy and a little bit of an off-white color. You can kind of blow on it for it to dry quicker. And then I just take it between my fingers and twist, so I ensure that all of them get stuck together at the bottom. Once you have your pollen, you're going to take one of your clusters and put some hot glue right here at the base. You don't want to add too much, but just enough so that your pollen is able to stick to your flower. While that is drying, you can take your stem. I'm going to fold this one in half because it's very long and I want more support for my flower. So I'm just going to twist this all the way down. You can also use like shish kebab skewers and like color them green. That's what I did for the ones for my mom. Or just anything that you have that can resemble a stem. You're going to repeat the process like you did for the pollen and just put a little bit at the base. And then glue your stem on. You just have to wait for that to dry. While that is setting, you can take your other one, it should be dry by now, and put a little bit of glue right here. I like to put it right here on this nook so that the hot glue doesn't show too much on the flower. You do this on each side. And then you take your other cluster and place it on like so. Then you're just going to pinch the two together so you have your flower shape. And once you do this, you can kind of mess with the flower and like adjust it how you want all of your petals to be laid out. It can get a little bit messy with the hot glue, so I like to take all the strings off as I go so it's not a huge mess at the end. You should end up with your flower. So to add a finishing touch, I like to add some ribbon or tape. This is optional, but I think it makes for a cleaner look. You just take a bit, about this much, and just add a dab of hot glue. If this were tape, you wouldn't need it, but this is not sticky. And then I like to start at the stem and just wrap that around. I angle it a bit up so that I'm able to twist, and it continues to twist up the flower. And I just continue wrapping it around and slowly adding in more of the pipe cleaners. Once I get to where I would like, I add a dab of hot glue so that it sticks and it doesn't slide off. And I just wrap that around. And then I make my way back down the flower, back to the stem, like so. And then if I have excess, I just wrap that around and then add another dab of glue to the end of the tape so I'm able to wrap that around the stem. And there you have your flower. I love these flowers because they last forever and they never die. My favorite thing about them is that you can be creative with your colors and mix it up. Last time for my mom I made pink ones, but you can do whatever color you would like. With only a few simple steps, you are able to get these beautiful flowers. You can use them as a gift or room decor for yourself. Thank you.